again, I'm Dr. Helen Marley. In my first video, I talked about natural and healthy posture and hand position at the piano. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to teach students how to play a beautiful singing sound. It all must start with what a beautiful sound is. And this is one of our great responsibilities as a teacher, is to teach our students. And it might take a long time, but we still need for them to hear what a beautiful sound is. So I'm going to play for you a beautiful folk song, an Irish folk song called Danny Boy. This particular arrangement is at the late elementary level. You're going to notice when I play the melody of the first phrase that I'm going to gradually drop into the key like this. And then I'm going to slowly roll out of the key. I won't come out of the key completely like this, but I'm going to roll forward and then I'm going to drop on the next note, and I'm going to roll forward, and I'm going to drop again. We're usually going to drop on our thumbs, and this time I also play a thumb, but it's at the end of the phrase, so I will fully come out of the key with a wrist roll. So when I drop to the bottom of the key deeply, the sound is lush and it's warm. We can tell our students, how about if you imagine when you go to the bottom of the key bed that it's a bunch of fluffy pillows or big marshmallows or maybe fluffy cotton balls. Anything for them to feel that nice key bed as they go all the way down. Bring out the beauty of every note. Drop and roll. And you'll notice my arms are fluidly moving. Drop, roll. Drop. Here's our biggest drop yet. Their stationary point right here, because there's a fermata over the keys. I should say over the notes. The fermata is over the notes. When we talk about the keys here, they're called keys, and if we talk about the notes on the page, they're called notes. So if a student is playing in a way that their muscles are stiff or rigid, they're going to hit the key instead. They'll end up playing on their fingertips, which isn't very good, and then all of their knuckles will start to be very rigid and tight. And also the little fifth finger will start to creep up and it'll become a very curly French fry. So we want to make sure that our students are always released, playing on the pads of their fingers, as I talked about in the last video. Self-expression always controls the motions of the body. And when students learn these physical gestures or these fundamental motions of the playing apparatus, which I'll explain later, then they will be able to play pieces with a whole variety of moods, colors, and sounds. So you might be asking me, well, how do I teach my students to have this basic physical gesture of dropping into the keys and rolling forward and out of the keys? Well, I will show you next. So this first fundamental physical gesture that I will teach you today, it's called the drip, drop, roll. When students learn this gesture, they will learn complete fluidity in their playing mechanism. Their playing mechanism or their playing apparatus are all the parts of the body that moves when a student plays the piano. So not just the fingers move, but the fingers move, the hands, the wrist, the forearms, the elbows, the upper arms, as well as the torso, the back, and the shoulders certainly supply weight to the playing apparatus. So, of course, every part of the body is engaged in piano playing, but we're going to talk about this part first. So, the drip, drop, roll comes in 3 parts. The drip starts like this. We bring our hands up like this. We have our students do the same thing. And we say, imagine that water is dripping through your fingers. And one of my students said, you know, I was in the shower this morning, and you're so right, Dr. Marley. Water just drips right through your fingers. So then we say drip, 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 and we have them drop onto their thighs. So the Tomcat students will really want to hit their thighs like this, and everything will be convulsed forward. And some of our more delicate students will want to float down. But we teachers must say, how about if you let gravity take over and just drop onto your thighs naturally? So let's do it again. Drip, 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 drop. This is the time where we ask our students, where do they feel complete relaxation or release? And they'll say, well, goodness, my wrist feels released, my forearm, my elbow, my upper arm, and even my shoulders are nice and low and wide across. So there is a long bone that goes from the shoulder to the elbow, and it's called the humerus bone. And we can teach our students to say, I need to have a happy, hanging humerus. And that also hangs the elbow as well. So this is extremely important in piano playing. This gives us this great sense of arm weight, dropping to the bottom of the keys. The last step in the drip, drop, roll is rolling forward and off the thighs like this. So when a student understands this fluidity, like this, dripping, dropping, and rolling forward, they're going to get the idea that there is always coordinated motion between all the parts of the playing apparatus. They'll be able to play 2-note slurs beautifully, they'll be able to shape phrases wonderfully, they'll be able to taper the ends of phrases, and they will have a beautiful sound. So let's go ahead and have our students try it on the keyboard. We can start with just using a 3rd finger because it's well balanced in the middle of the hand and the arm. They can play any keys that they desire. So gradually have them lift up for the drip. They can inhale at the same time and then exhale. They've gradually dropped. They feel very nice and deep in the keys, thinking about those pillows or the marshmallows. And then they roll with their wrist forward and off the keys. They have to focus on a deep, rich sound. Again, we're going to inhale. Let's not hyperventilate. Let's inhale and then exhale. When they drop their arm just a little bit, they make a quieter sound. And weight control is how a person can control the speed and intensity as it strikes the key. So, some useful little things to do with our students is you could get a friendly little spider like this one or a little animal, and they're nice if they can wrap around the wrist like this spider. And we can have the student play one of these beautiful drops, and they can just see that little spider going down and then slowly rolling up. Same thing again. Inhale and exhale. And watch the spider coming up. The other really good thing to use is actually a plain rubber band. A long rubber band, and put the rubber band here at the wrist, and the student can feel the sense of arm weight, feeling that happy hanging humerus, and they drop into a key, and then you can pull up on the rubber band, and they can roll out of the key. But you know what? The absolute best way is for us teachers to support the hand and the arm and guide the student to be able to feel drip, drop, Support the arm, make sure it's not overly tight underneath the wrist, and then roll forward and out of the keys. You know, playing the piano is both a mental as well as a physical activity and a form of art. So we want to make sure that our students learn these physical gestures. It's going to take time for them to make it a habit, but once they know what to do, they really will be able to play beautifully. The piano touch always originates in the mind first, and then our students can create zillions of beautiful colors. See you in the next video.